Good morning. Thank you. Happy 4th of July to everyone who has joined us. Or hopefully you'll tune in later today. Maybe you're sleeping in. Let's go ahead and just come to a comfortable seat, whatever that means for you. I like to sit up on a block. You can sit in Vajrasana or simple seated Sukhasana. And just close your eyes. Just let your internal gaze either shift down to your heart center, which is a nice resting place, or to the third eye center, the space between your eyebrows. Just let your breath rise and fall with your attention. Not clinging or attaching to an expectation of what that breath ought to be. Just noticing what it is. If it's shallow or quick, that's an opportunity to lengthen, deepen, and slow it down. In yoga, we use our Ujjayi breath to help us tap into our parasympathetic nervous system. The Ujjayi breath is found by breathing in and out through your nose, letting your tongue rest along the roof of your mouth and graze the back of your teeth. As you continue to focus on your breath in and out, I'll share some words today from the Mindfulness Bell current issue from Sharon Schulten. The practice of loving fully requires me to be with my pain and suffering and tend to it. I need to ride the waves of discomfort and uncertainty without panicking. I need to be open to getting to know the texture and the stories of my suffering. When I discover I am triggering more suffering, I can meet it with compassion until space around it opens up. I can let the experience tenderize me and burn off my attachments to ways of being in the world that are no longer useful and allow insight and wisdom to emerge. Sometimes I'm skillful, sometimes I'm not. But my commitment to strengthening my ability to love more deeply and courageously is unwavering. My commitment is not a belief I have about myself or an identity as one committed to the path. Instead, it's a truth validated by experience as I imperfectly live the way I have chosen, moment by moment, one day at a time. The fruits of practice are that I continue to feel this undercurrent of joy and well-being, even on my worst days. I walk this path not just for me, but also for my elders, teachers, and ancestors. In some way, my commitment to love, not to be limited by my pain and fears or the fears of others, or by my joy, is a way I can honor their lives, struggles, and sacrifices. At the very least, it's my deepest expression of gratitude. So I practice. Some days with knees shaking, breath shallow, and chest heaving from anxiety. I slow down. I reach out to my friends and loved ones. I work out, I read, I sit, I serve, I cry. I talk to my friends and my family, my beloved Dharma teacher, who remains with me and guides me in spirit as I walk this path. I allow life to move through me, knowing that it's all in constant motion and that I'm being held in a net I cannot fall out of. I am grateful for a peace and joy that surpasses all understanding. That's so awesome about the gift of mindfulness as a practice, about cultivating Buddha nature, understanding the truth of our connectedness, the Buddha that's in all of us, the light within. We're never alone. We're all in this together. And that is a really powerful understanding, because sometimes when we are in anxiety or, especially in prolonged times of a lot of isolation, and when there's a lot of raw emotions all around us, it can feel very isolating and lonely. And that can make our minds run rampant, our monkey minds, which already tend to do that, go worse. But we have a gift. We have the Dharma, and we have yoga, and we have these amazing tools that help us come home to this quiet center and really sit and feel these feelings, and understand that we're all connected in this beautiful web of life. And that's a gift. And that we need to come as we are to our mats today. And this is a practice of liberation, of freedom. And, today is a day that we as a country celebrate a type of freedom, independence. That word is fraught, I know, for many, but it helps us really think about what it means to be free and liberated, and what we can do in our own lives to help today be a bit more free for us. And that's what we do here with the practice of yoga. It is a practice of liberation. To come as you are and have no clinging or attachment to what you ought to look like in the shapes that you make with your body, or where you ought to be, because every day is different, every hour is different sometimes, and it's all just right. So thank you for coming as you are today to your mat, and I invite you to set an intention today for this practice of liberation, of freedom. We'll take an Om together. Inhale. Inhale, bring your arms up. And exhale, bring them down. Just go ahead and walk forward. Stretch out your upper body. Bow. And go ahead and come back up on the inhale. And if you're sitting on a prop, you can remove it. Otherwise, wherever you're sitting, go ahead and stretch your legs out, shake out your knees for a moment. Good. And then go ahead and bring your right leg in. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Turn your torso over your right leg just a bit so that it's at a diagonal. And go ahead. I'm sorry, I meant over your left leg. Go ahead and stretch forward. The straight leg is the one that you want to reach forward on. Giving your leg permission to lengthen. If your nose doesn't come anywhere close to your leg, that is perfectly fine. You can sit up and bring your left fingertips out to support you. And lengthen your spine a little bit more as you fold forward for 3, 2, 1. Good. Great. Come on up. Go ahead and take that bent right leg, cross it over your left, set those sit bones on the earth, squeeze your knee in, and then twist to your right. If you want to take your left arm to the outside of your thigh, you can. Otherwise, you can keep squeezing your knee in. Simple seated twist just to open up our spine. Big belly breath. Go ahead and come back around. Release that leg. Shake it out again. And go ahead and bring your left leg in to your groin. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, take your body on the diagonal toward your straight leg and fold. Trying to keep your spine nice and straight so that you're flattening out your back rather than rounding your spine. So it's really not about how far you go. It's about lengthening everything. Good. Come on back up. And then take your leg, cross it over. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, twist to your left. Adding more emptiness at the bottom of your exhale. And come back around. Good. And then just take the soles of your feet together. You don't have to bring them all the way into your groin. This is just kind of warming up. So an open diamond shape is good for Baddha Konasana. Sit up nice and tall. Look up and then exhale. And then use your elbows to press down any part of your leg that's accessible to you. Surrendering to grace. So forward folds are a devotional act. Bowing. Inhale. And then come around. Come to Just sit on your knees for just a moment. And actually, we'll do something real quick. So, Saraswati is the goddess. She was Brahma's right hand, right? Brahma's wife in the Vedic scriptures. And Saraswati was created to bring order into the universe because there was chaos. And Saraswati is the goddess that we can call upon. She is a protector of the spiritual disciplines, but also of creativity and freedom, right? Because in that flow and the creativity, the more, when you bring order and discipline into your life, particularly into your spiritual practice, there is a great freedom and liberation that emerges from that. And I did a practice this week that called upon Saraswati, and I'll bring some of that into the work today, but we can chant a devotional to her, and her sound is Aim. So you can listen or you can join in. We'll just do it 3 times, and then we'll bring in some Saraswati energy into our flow today. Om Aim Saraswataye Namaha. Om Aim Saraswataye Namaha. Om Aim Saraswataye Namaha. There's one great image I love. Saraswati has been pictured riding a swan, and she always has a peacock in the pictures. The peacock represents distraction, right? The blue feathers. The peacock's always trying to get her attention, but she never wavers. And that's what's really awesome about her imagery. I have needed a lot of Saraswati energy this week, so hopefully I can share some of that with you. All right, let's come around to downward facing dog. So part of that calling upon Saraswati is, even though that discipline, there's not a rigidity to that. There's a fluidity and a creativity in that. So give yourself permission to experiment in your shapes and not be rigid or clinging or attaching to, again, what you think that something ought to look like or be, but rather meet yourself where you are. So in downward facing dog, if your hamstrings are tight, take your legs and walk them as wide as your mat. Bend your knees a little deeper. The discipline of the form is that your weight is back toward your heels, that your heart is softened, so that you are not injuring yourself. But then in that discipline, there is freedom, infinite freedom to find where your resting place can be with your body. Take another breath there. And then go ahead and walk. Actually, let's walk our hands back to meet our feet today. For this first one. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root down into your feet. Rise up. Bringing energy. Exhale through the center. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale through the center. Inhale, look up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. And connect. Just finding in this half sun salutation, freedom of connecting breath to movement. Inhale, up. Exhale. Inhale, look up. Exhale. Inhale, root to rise. Come on. Inhale, one more time like that. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Come on up. Excellent. Wonderful. Inhale. Exhale. Now walk out your hands. Come to plank. Oh, take a breath. Sorry, my phone is ringing, so it stopped our music. It's my dad. Inhale, exhale, go ahead and come down. You can take a modified chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Oh man. Exhale, fold. Yeah, he is. And then go ahead and you like to push up back to plank. You can. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Go ahead and inhale your right leg high to the sky. Exhale, step through. Go ahead and lower your back knee. Inhale, rise up. Anjayasana. Exhale, lower. Good. Go ahead and lift the curl of your back toe. Press into a lunge first, so you feel this freedom. And then from there, left hand on the earth, right hand rises for a twist. Good. And in this twist, see if you can open up your heart just a bit, angling backward. One breath there. Exhale, lower. And then go ahead and take it back to downward facing dog. And then let's take our left leg up. Inhale. Exhale, step it through. Go ahead and lower your back knee on a breath. And curl your back toe, swoop up Anjayasana. Exhale. Good. Inhale, come into lunge. I like to tent my fingertips here so that I know I'm not collapsing too much into my hands. Really push that back heel toward the back of the room. Let your front knee track over your ankle. So really stick your lunge. Find the form there, the discipline of the form, so that when you go into your twist, you have stability to find more freedom, more space. Two. One. Good. Go ahead and put your hand down. Step back down facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga or modified. Inhale, bhujangasana or urdhva. Adho. So that's cobra or downward, upward facing dog. Back to Danda. Good. 3 breaths in Danda. Again, seeing if you can find a little bit more space each time you go into this shape. Bottom of your foot. Exhale, step, walk, hop or float to the top of your mat. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Good. Take a moment here, feeling the heat starting to move through your body and starting to wake up. Inhale. Exhale, back down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back to plank. Take a vinyasa. You can always skip the vinyasa. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, this time twist it open. Adding on a little bit, try to keep your torso square. Really open, almost like you're gonna drop. We're not quite going there yet. Inhale, square and straighten. Exhale, step through. Once more to lunge. Once more, lower your back knee. Inhale, swoop up, Anjayasana. Offering your heart. See if you can, when you come out of it slightly, come out of the back bend. If you want to take this challenge, press into the top of your back foot, so much so that you can lift your knee off the mat. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, find a little back bend there. And then, once more, lower the knee. Yeah. Pretty great. Inhale, come on back for a half Hanumasana, half runner's lunge, so straighten your front leg. Fold with the flat back over your front straight leg. Breathing here. Inhale, come back to lunge. Again, stick your back heel like you're stepping on the wall. Behind you, get that maximum length. Find some buoyancy in your hips. Once more, take that twist. Opening up your heart. See if you can find a little bit more space this time. Find a bit more of a back bending action. Almost like you're trying to fall backwards, but you're not. Go ahead and bring it back. Bring both hands to the inside of your foot. Walk your foot over to the edge of your mat. Turn it out slightly. For a lizard shape, go ahead and bring your back knee down. If you can, come to your forearms. That's great. You don't have to. You can stay up on your hands. Maybe take a breath and roll your foot to the pinky toe side. One of my favorite shapes to get into that outer hip. On a breath, bring it back in. Re-engage your back foot, lift your knee. Bring your hands back all the way to the center. Walk back to lunge. And then from there, straighten your front leg. So you're going to be in a very modified Parsvottanasana. It's a long one, so your back foot is not going to be flat. Go ahead and inhale here. Exhale. See if you can fold a little bit deeply over your front straight leg. Try to lower your sit bones. Let your hip start to open up by squaring off. Subtle movements. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Come back to lunge. Inhale. Plant your hands. Step back, down and facing dog. Big breath and down dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, twist it open. So again, trying to square your torso. Put so much gravity in your leg, it feels like it's going to fall to the side of your mat, but don't let it. And then come back, square and straighten. Keep it high, inhale. Exhale, step it through. To lunge. And then go ahead and lower your back knee. Release the curl of your back toe. Inhale, Anjayasana. Heart open, front knee tracking way over the ankle to get into the outer, like the psoas area Opposite side, the hip flexor. Inhale. Exhale. Come on out of it a little bit, out of the back bend that is. Engage your back foot. Press the top of your foot onto the mat and then lift your knee if you can. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, find a little back bend. Woo! Inhale, exhale, release. Good. That's tough, but it helps us find a little bit more space. Go ahead and come back, half Hanumasana, runner's lunge. Exhale, fold over your front leg. Inhale, come back to traditional lunge, back to a curled under. And then stick your lunge first, find that stability so that when you open into your twist, you can find some more freedom. Heart expressing, big, wide and open. Like you're going to lean all the way back. Bring it back around on an exhale. Walk your foot over to the edge of your mat. Turn your feet out, your toes out slightly. And then come into lizard. Or gecko, which is a type of lizard. Coming down to your forearms if that's good for you. On a breath, maybe roll your foot to the pinky toe side. Roll it back in. Engage the curl of your back toe once more if you haven't already. And then walk your foot back over to the center. And then go ahead and straighten your front leg. Modified Parsvottanasana, so a longer stance. Still angling your hip toward the back of the room. Inhale, look up halfway. See if you can flatten your back. And it doesn't matter how low you are. So if your fingertips aren't coming to the earth, you can use your legs to stabilize you. Or if you have blocks that you use for your practice, you can bring the floor closer to you with blocks. And try to fold. Excellent. Go ahead and release that. Come back to your lunge. Back to down dog. And take a breath. Vinyasa if you like. Plank. Inhale. Exhale. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Or cobra. Exhale. Downward facing. Inhale. Come to your toes. Bend your knees, exhale, step up or float to the top. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, forward. Inhale, root to rise. Come on. Exhale. Good. Beautiful. Taking some rest here. And then we are going to go, we're going to change it up just a little bit. So start by stepping into your right foot and bring your left foot into tree. A little bit of a balance here. And start by stabilizing. So tree, you really bring everything to the center by kind of this push and pull action. So you're squeezing toward the midline. Your trunk is firm. Hands in front of your heart. If you want to experiment, taking your limbs up and growing them to the sky, feel that woo, Remember, every day is different. Every hour is different. Form is not rigidity. Good. Go ahead and bring your hands once more into the front of your heart. Turn your knees so that it faces the front. Bend your standing leg. And then shoot your bent leg back into warrior three. Yes. Your arms your hands can be one of three places: in your heart center, reaching forward, or back alongside you. One more breath there, inhale, and then reach that foot all the way back. Come into warrior one, inhale, and then exhale into warrior two. I'm going to be I don't like that. I don't like when I end up turned around. So into warrior two. Settle there for a moment. And then go ahead and reverse your warrior. Inhale. Exhale, straighten your front leg. Inhale, back into warrior two. Exhale, modified Parsva. Inhale, warrior two. And then exhale. Inhale, back to warrior two, all the way to modified. Yeah. Just let a couple more times. Inhale. Reverse, then straighten. Inhale. Warrior two. Parsva. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, straight. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, Parsva. Exhale there. We'll do one more. Inhale. All the way. Back. And this time when you end up in Parsva, feel free to take your fingertips down to the mat, connecting your arm to your leg. Reaching those front fingertips. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Inhale. And then go ahead and come all the way up. Actually into triangle pose, sorry. Just let you guys straighten your leg, front leg, and just come into triangle. Heart open. And from there, come all the way up. Turn your feet so that they're parallel to one another. You're on the long edge of your mat. Inhale, go ahead and bring your hands behind you. Clasp them. Inhale. Shoulder opener. Exhale, fold forward. Let your arms fall out. Toward the sky. Good. And from here, go ahead and release your hands so that they are underneath you. And if your head is close to the earth, you can walk your feet out a little bit more so that the crown of your head can actually come to the earth. And if, again, here's an opportunity to use your block to bring it closer to you. And then you want to walk your hands back so that you can see the fingertips of your hands even while your head is edging toward the ground. And you want your forearms to be at a kind of a 90-degree angle with your hands. And breathe here. Good. And always modifications, bringing the floor closer to you, walking your feet wide or narrow. Good. And then go ahead and just walk back to the front of your mat. The front of my mat now is this way. Inhale in the lunge. Go ahead and kick up into standing split to finish this beautiful sequence. And then bring your foot down. Deep Uttanasana. Inhale, reach to rise. Come on up. Musical mats here. Beautiful. Good work, guys. Now we'll do the second side. So you'll step into your left leg and bring your right into tree pose. And again, just start by really firming your trunk here. Squeezing toward the midline. And then just take a few breaths being in your Vrikshasana, your tree, letting your limbs grow. If that feels right. Eventually returning to your hands in front of your heart. And once you're there, on a breath, go ahead and turn your knees so that it faces the front. Bend into your standing leg and then kick that bent leg into warrior three. So your foot is flat, toes are down. You can take your arms out in front. 3, 2, 1, and then reach that leg back, bend deep into your front leg, all the way up into warrior one. Take a breath there, inhale, and then exhale into warrior two. We sit into your warrior two for a moment. Bend deeply. I'm going to inhale, reverse our warrior. Exhale, straighten your front leg while you're in reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale into place. Inhale, warrior two. So reverse your warrior. Straighten. Back into warrior two. Back into place. Yeah, just flowing with your breath here. Taking it all the way through the cycle. So one more. Next time you come to Parsva, go ahead and stick it. You can either stay modified or you can bring your fingertips all the way to the earth. Turn your heart toward the sky and really open up for 3, 2, 1. From here, go ahead and straighten your leg. See if you can come right into triangle. Taking your top arm toward the sky. And then come up. 2. All the way, legs straight. Once more. Parallel your feet. Clasp your hands behind you the funky way. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward, bringing your folded hands toward the sky. And shoulder opener. One more breath like that. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your hands once more underneath you. Again, if your hands are as close as your head will get to the earth, you know what I mean, like that's it, you can barely get your hands, that's great. Just continue to work that. It's still an inversion. Use your hands as stability to help you lengthen your spine. So it's a flat back, not a rounding. Lengthen your spine as you fold forward in whatever capacity that means for you. If your head is getting closer to the earth, you can take it down. If your head easily goes to the earth, you can bring your feet closer together. Again, flattened hands should be able to see your fingertips. Now, if you have a tripod headstand practice, then this is a good opportunity to take that. If that is new to you, then I don't advise you to do it because you really need to do it with a teacher in person who can help talk it through you a little bit more. But so you can either stay in your inversion if you're going into tripod headstand because you've done it before. Make sure it's all about stabilizing here. So you don't want to have your back rounded. You want to pull those sockets, your scapula's back. So that 90-degree angle of your forearms to your wrist is super important. You want to be able to see your fingertips. And that helps you stabilize. So even if you just come up onto your toes, and that's enough, and feel that great rocking to your toes, that's good. Otherwise, you can lift up. 3, 2, 1. Slowly. Come out. And then everybody, when you're ready, come into this like wide-legged downward facing dog shape where your arms are reaching out in front of you. Shoulders are melting down your back. And then come back around the top of your mat. Coming into lunge first, then standing split. All the way down, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Beautiful, beautiful sequencing with this. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, vinyasa. Exhale. Inhale, right leg comes up. Exhale, kick it open. This time you are going to keep kicking it open all the way till your toes hit the earth behind you. For wild thing. Feeling this beautiful freedom. Press into your left hand. Lift your hips. Let your right arm reach back. Beautiful expression of openness. Inhale. Exhale. Come all the way back around. 3-legged down dog. Pick it up. Exhale, lower that foot. Opposite leg. Inhale. Exhale, twist it open. Keep twisting. Put that weight into your right hand. Have faith. The floor is there. Toes reach in. Press those toes into the earth. Lift your hips. Reach your left hand back. Beautiful, you guys. Breathe. 2, 1. Press into your hand. Roll it back over 3-legged dog. Exhale down. Downward facing dog. Good job. Inhale. Exhale, plank. Lower chaturanga. All the way to your belly. Good. From here, we'll just do a Shalabhasana first. So you're going to clasp your hands behind you. Lift your heart. Lift your feet. Your shins. Your kneecaps. Breathing for 3. 2. 1. Go ahead and release. Turn your head to one side. Head back to the center. Go ahead and change the clasping of your hands. Inhale. Shalabhasana. Good. Turn your head the opposite way. Back to the center. One more. If you want to take it all the way into bow this time, feel free. So that means grabbing ankles or feet with hands and lifting up into Urdhva Dhanurasana. I'm sorry, just Dhanurasana. Try not to let your knees splay out if you're in bow. And when you're ready to come down, take your hands underneath you and rest your forehead there. One more heart opener. You don't think it is, but it is. Forearms out in front of you. You can start actually by clasping your hands and your forearms. Curl your back toes under. Come into a forearm plank. Continue to stay there or press into forearm down dog, bringing your weight to your heels and then walking in your feet as much as you can, re-engaging the weight toward your heels for dolphin and softening your heart. That's why it is a heart opener. You want your shoulders out of your ears. Soften your heart. Let it melt down your back. 1. You can either drop to your knees, or if you're feeling totally spicy, you can walk back out to forearm plank. Come back down all the way back to Sphinx pose. You just drop to your knees. You just hang out there until we're ready. We're going to take one more. This time, now if you want to repeat having your hands clasped, you can. It's a little bit more challenging to have your forearms open and your hands planted. From there, you can curl your toes under once more and repeat. Down dog, forearm down dog, walking feet in. Using the discipline of the shape and the form to not be rigid and find freedom. So maybe you need to bend your knees a little bit so that you can get more space there. Lift your tailbone toward the sky so that you can feel that weight moving toward your heels. Then walk them in, then try to straighten. And this time, everybody drop to your knees. Come into child's pose. Big toes touching, knees wide. You're so settled. Go ahead and sit up just for a moment, Vajrasana. And go ahead and come all the way seated as we come to our backs. Squeeze your knees in, give yourself a hug. Walk a little side to side. Good. And then go ahead and cross your right leg over your left. Both feet are flat to start, is the easiest place. Cross your right over. We're just taking a supine pigeon, otherwise known as figure four. So then you can lift your legs, thread your arm through the eye of that needle you created. Clasp your hands behind your thigh. Get into your hips. Use your right elbow to push your thigh away. And there, go ahead and keep your right leg cradled in as best you can. Straighten your left leg out if you can. You can always bend it. If you can, straighten it. And maybe just curl up a little bit with that cradled leg in. And then as you lower, take your foot into your hand and then start to straighten your right leg towards the sky. So you may have to crawl your hands down your leg. If your fingers meet your toes, that's great. Supta Parahadisthasana. Left leg is active. And then open that leg up to your right. You may need to bend your knee toward your armpit. Maybe that's it for you. If you can straighten it, that's great. Again, you may need to move your hand down your leg and support it. And then use your left hand to coax your left hip toward the earth. And go ahead and bring your leg back toward the sky. Switch hands and take it across your body. So again, this may be bent leg, actually a spinal twist, as much as it is getting into your outer hip. Try to keep your right shoulder angling toward the earth as much as you can. You may not go very far, but just the movement there energetically will help you start to find more space, more freedom over time. Turn your head that direction. Go ahead and bring a bent knee back into your chest. Curl your nose toward your knee. And then go ahead, lower and straight. Second side, bend both legs so that your feet are flat on the earth. Take your left leg, bend it over your right thigh, so left foot is flexed on the outside of right thigh. This is version A. You can just stay here and press your left thigh away with your left hand. That will get into your hips. If you have some more freedom, more flexibility, you can bring that shape toward you. So feet off the earth, thread your left hand through the eye of the needle, clasp your hands behind your thigh, or you may like to clasp them on top of your shin. It's your shape, so play with it. Wherever you can access more freedom in your hips, that's where you want to be. Use your elbow to press your thigh away. Good. And from there, go ahead and keep your leg cradled in as best you can. Straighten out your leg if possible, otherwise just bend that right leg and place your foot on the earth as you continue to cradle in your left leg a little bit and curl up. Eventually bringing your right leg to the earth and then taking Supta Sthasana or some version of that on the second side. So again, if your fingers can wrap your big toe, that's great. A lot of people don't have that freedom yet, so any place you can grab on your straight leg is good. Or leg moving towards straight, it may not be very straight. Start to bring it out to your left side, either by bending your knee and keeping it in toward your armpit, or straightening your leg, or some version thereof. Using your right hand to coax your right hip toward the earth. Slowly start to bring it back toward the sky, switch hands. Cross it over your body. Straight or bent, or straightish, bentish. Opening up your left arm so that it's on the earth. A nice twist. And back. Bring your knee to your nose. And release down. And unless you feel a burning desire to take any final shape, you are ready for Shavasana. Start to bring some movement back to your fingers and toes. Rolling to your right side when you're ready. Coming up once more to simple seated. Gaze soft or eyes closed. Bringing your hands in front of your heart and just turning your gaze inward, doing a scan of your body. See where you are now. Notice the space that's opened up inside of you, because it has. Inch by inch, the space opens up. Just a little bit more space in your shoulders and your legs, across your heart center and your hips. A little bit more space for the prana to move through, for the light to shine. Recognize that. Honor that. Be grateful for that freedom. Take a breath of gratitude to your fellow yogis and yoginis who joined you on this 4th of July, wherever they are. And a breath of gratitude to RBC for being our Sangha home. And let's send some of this extra love light that we have cultivated here today out into our community and the world beyond. Prayer that may all beings be happy, healthy, and free. May the suffering be short, the wisdom long. And in gratitude for the energy of Saraswati, today we will close again with the 3 chants to her. So listen or join as you like. Inhale. Om Aim Saraswataye Namaha. Om Aim Saraswataye Namaha. Om Aim Saraswataye Namaha. Thank you all so much for joining today. Namaste. Remember, we have Venmo. You can contribute to Reno Buddhist Center on Venmo or the PayPal link from the web pages. Thank you all so much, and have a very safe and happy weekend. Remember to mask up for Nevada and social distance anywhere that you go. Thank you all so much.